podcast.
We've done this 33 times.
Yeah.
We've done this 33 times.
Oh my gosh.
episode.
Take it back.
I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
Together we are
Ryan and John.
on the couch, as always. Olivia Tafolla, Cara Philly.
J.K. Rowling. Scary Philly.
Go on there, John. What you got?
I was just going to say, your intros get more and more elaborate, and I love them. They have, like, full visions.
Yeah.
Like, last week, it felt like a musical. I felt like somebody was going to come in and start, like, full singing, like, I don't know, Dear Evan Hansen. Like that's how the vibe I got.
One week it's gonna be like him zoomed in from like an orchestra pit. Like,
Yeah.
like
And then I just walk
orchestrating-
into frame, and
Yeah,
it's just
that's the
this.
dream, right?
Yeah.
like a suit
of
jacket
course.
with tails.
Like, you figured out that keyboard so well. It's incredible.
I'm figuring it out more every
full
week.
on, like, clicked a button, and there was a drum breakdown. Like,
Yeah,
what
literally. I have no idea.
is
This-
going
this
on?
is
This is a
Oh my
psychopath. That's typical Ryan fashion. Honestly, like give him something to figure out.
Now I can't even.
Don't you have like that keyboard, that cat keyboard? Didn't you like rig it so you can plug it in or something?
Oh yeah, I'll bring that one week. Play
That's
some
funny.
some
Didn't
cat
you
music.
break it? That's a good
No.
bit.
Was
a
that
good one.
another one?
I remember watching
don't
your
break
video of all your keyboards, and you're like, I rigged this one to plug in, and I was like, only Ryan,
Yeah.
like a Target
Yeah.
cat
Big
keyboard.
MacGyver kind
Well.
of guy.
That's what they call me.
Pretty incredible.
MacGyver
I'm the
gang.
keyboard guy.
Big MacGyver kind of guy.
I can't take praise. I just divert it with funny voices.
Oh really?
That was
No,
really
it's a lot of funny
self-aware.
ways.
That's really self-aware.
Between the two of us, there's a lot of compliments and
That's
a lot
right.
of funny ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna move on
ahead.
right into our sponsor.
You know, we used to be
like
so good about doing pod decks
Right
like,
off the bat, right?
and now I
Yeah.
feel like it's a kind of a mid-roll thing.
It's like whenever, but this
Today.
week I'm gonna just. Oh, hello,
Cara.
I'm sorry.
Cara Philly, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm
is
zooming out this one a little bit.
okay. Well,
that's
feels
all right.
like could have been something we did before the show started.
Can
but
you? Well, is
I'm
it
gonna move on.
It's on
I'm not
Ryan.
gonna draw
Ryan,
attention
it's
to
on
it.
you. Go
I'm not
ahead.
gonna draw attention to it.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah, it's on you.
now I've made a fool of myself.
No, go ahead.
Poddex.com. Head on over there to get 10% off your first order of podcast questions on a deck of cards with the code WTP.
Yep, it's important that you use the code.
You gotta
'Cause
use that
using
code.
our link in the bio doesn't necessarily.
You use the code,
Doesn't give us anything.
you get 10% off, and it goes right back to us.
Yeah,
We
it
get
does.
money.
Appreciate it.
Money.
So the question is from Poddex,
Can't wait.
from me to you with Poddex love.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite number? Any reason why?
Wow.
New question.
No, 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 no.
And podcast
J.K.
over.
Rowling's.
Show over.
Jake, your character on the show, by the way, is
Has
really
developed
devolving.
My arc.
Don't
I'm
think-
becoming the supervillain.
I'm going to say 4 because that's the amount of episodes Olivia has left on the show.
Oh, okay.
That hurt.
Okay. Let's just talk about it now. I'm
Ouchie.
leaving. Okay.
Oh.
I'm leaving,
Go ahead, let's talk about it.
Because
and
you have to go
hopefully
to
soon.
school to get like an
Skill.
education or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's school. That's why I'm
tired of
leaving.
this whole education thing,
I am
you know?
interested to talk about this,
just
though, if you want to. Go
do
there.
it.
Talk about.
Wait, let's get to our numbers
Answer the
quick.
question first. Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours, Olivia?
I don't really have one. I don't have a go-to.
Okay.
Great.
Maybe 3.
Go ahead.
That's a good number.
I like
3.
odd numbers.
More than even?
Really?
Surprises me.
I like odd numbers, and I like the number 13.
Spooky.
You know what's so funny is I don't have a favorite number. Maybe 1.
Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you why.
No reason.
I just like it.
Number 1.
But
It was his
funny
hat.
story. When I was a kid, it's weird now because I can't remember even what the number was. But when I was a kid, my favorite number was Khalil Green's number on the Padres.
that was my brother's
I
favorite.
can't even remember his number now. Isn't that crazy?
Was it 27?
I want to say it was like something 7, but I
I'm gonna look
I
it
just
up.
realized I was like I can't even remember it. Like I used to
17?
die by the number.
My brother
I
won as
loved
Khalil Green as on Halloween one year.
Really?
Yeah, the picture is funny.
He had kind of a sad ending in
Oh, he
baseball.
did?
He like punched a locker and broke his hand. It was a whole thing.
Oh, gosh.
Apparently
That
he had
sucks.
substance abuse issues.
Shoot.
Yeah, that sucks.
Cool.
So that was my idol.
Fun
I was
memory,
kidding.
yeah.
Don't meet your heroes, kids.
Don't meet your heroes, man.
I've always liked 96 because that's the year we were born.
Oh, that's true. That's a good one.
96, you know. It's cool.
Olivia, you don't have a number, so let's talk about why you're leaving.
So
Let's pivot.
I do. Yeah, let's pivot. You were one of those people that experienced missing an entire year of school because of COVID.
A year and a half.
Yeah, tell us about it.
It was super weird. I like, you know, when you finally, like, maybe it's like high school or like just a new experience where you finally feel like you're like getting your footing, like you know people, you know, you kind of get into a rhythm. That was kind of where I was at, like, before I left, before COVID happened, because I was like, I finally, like, I don't know, I joined improv at school, and that was really fun, and like we were doing shows, and like, yeah, I had like a lot of stuff planned for like the semester. We were like just the beginning of the spring semester, and so it was just weird, like, having to come home. But honestly, like, as difficult as it was to like separate myself from that and like start like a new chapter and be home for so long, like, as strange and uncomfortable as that was for me, like, I think it actually was really good because I like was able to kind of check in, because you go from like being in high school to college like immediately.
It's like a time warp.
Yeah, it's insane.
crazy.
Like, you have a summer to be home and say goodbye to all your friends, and then you're there. And so it's like a really like crazy shift of like, okay, I'm also making decisions of like who I want to be like as an adult. Like, you're in the stage of like, I'm learning so much, and I'm like, I don't know, like, my priorities were still the same as high school, where it's like, I just want to have like a good time and like learn, and like, I don't know, it was just kind of like a weird shift of like, I'm not in high school, like, this is now my career. And like, as much as you know that, sometimes like to really like take a break and like step back like is really helpful. Like, for me, it was really helpful because I like was so focused on like, okay, I have to make friends and I have to, you know, like, go like do all these things for the experience of it. Like, I want to make sure I go to all these chapels and like all this stuff, and like, I think it was good for me to kind of like take a pause and like really assess like what my priorities were.
So now going into your junior year, right? Do you feel like you're in like a similar headspace, like, oh, I need to get back out and do a lot, or are you like, I know what my priorities are now? Like, what is that?
Yeah, I think
moving forward, I guess
it's definitely changed. I think I want to like really invest in meeting people, because before I was kind of like surviving, you know, like I would like meet people just to like have someone to go to dinner with, or like have, you know, like have people to go do stuff with. But like, I don't think I was really investing in those relationships as much as I could have been, because I think I had this mindset of like, oh yeah, all my friends are back at home. So really, like, I already have my friends. This is just temporary. Whereas like, if you're not investing in like where you're at, the space where you're at, like, it's going to catch up with you. Like, you're going to get to the point where you're like, I don't have any real friends here, you know, and like people at home are changing too. And I think that was kind of a weird experience for me too, coming back, was like, oh yeah, like, their lives haven't stopped just because I'm not here. You know, like, obviously they're still doing stuff and they're going out and like meeting new people and like becoming new people.
They all have
like,
different jokes, and they all, you know,
right. I like start doing the same bits I was doing before, and like nobody's there to laugh at them. I'm like, what's going on, guys?
Like, this is my bit.
I'm like, it's funny.
This is me.
I'm
like,
funny.
Funny, so laugh, please.
Yeah, and it wasn't even,
because then you're left feeling like a fish out of water in both places.
Yeah,
you're like, you come home and you're like, oh, you know, I'm back, and then it's not received the same way. But then you go back to school again, and you're like, oh,
I still don't know
like,
where I am. Yeah,
not plugged in at all.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
it's crazy. And I think some people are really good at like finding a community right away. And I've realized that's not me, because I am good at meeting people and making friends. Yeah, but I'm not good at taking the time to really invest myself into that, like into those relationships.
Go all in on
because I think, I mean, it's a much more vulnerable experience than I anticipated it to be, because it's like you're starting from square one again. Like, you have to completely like put yourself out there like time and time again, because like there's so many people that you're constantly meeting, and it's like a brand new community around you. Whereas like in high school, I'd like meet new people, whatever, and it was like not that big of a deal because I already have friends that I feel comfortable with, you know, that I could like hang out with.
That like it's a given. Like, oh, okay, can always check in with these friends.
Exactly.
I'm always at school, or I'm always, you know, at CYT or whatever, wherever you're at.
Yeah, but at college, it's like you have no one. Yeah. You literally have no one. Like, and so you're
isolating, huh?
Yeah, you're completely. I just remember like the first couple days of like being at school, I was like, what am I doing? Like, I was literally by myself all day long, and I'm like, what? Like, and I think that's what's really hard for people is like, if you can't get through that first stage, then like you're not going to be able to keep going. Like if it's like a make or break moment where you're like, okay, I can continue pushing through this like painful time of me like having so much alone time and like putting myself out there, or I can just go back home. And it's like, and honestly, there's no like right or wrong way. Like it's super hard, and like obviously like there are things I may have done differently, you know, but
how strange to finally feel like you're starting to get your footing,
right,
and then you're like pulled out of it. Like I mean, everyone was, right? Like, completely pulled out of that environment again.
Yes. I feel like I didn't like go to college, part of me, because it's like I was home. Now I've been home longer than I was even at school in the first place. Like, so yeah, it's just a really strange
You're
time.
going to be a junior?
Yeah, I'm going to be a junior.
So
it's weird.
How much time will you even have?
So you did
left
a semester and a half at Biola.
Yeah.
And then you did
I did the rest of that semester,
I guess, at Grossmont, right?
Well, yeah. So I finished out the year with Biola
online,
at home.
still
Yeah, online. Because I was already in classes. Yeah.
So like a full year.
So I did a full year at Grossmont. And like, thank God for Grossmont, because I think like what I was saying, like when you're in high school, you just choose a school because you're like, I'm going to college, I guess. Like everybody's going to college. I mean, some people that's not for them, obviously. But for me, I was like, yeah, I just got to choose a school. And then I picked a school, and then I started going to that school. And so by coming home, I was kind of like, oh, like this is what I decided to do. You know what I mean? Like really
that
analyzing.
Was a choice.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, you know, here I'm going to high school now. Like,
right.
You know.
And all this money is being spent for me to go to the school. Like that was a real
the experience, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. Like I was just so thankful that I was able to take Grossmont classes, because the price is just like not even comparable. Like it's incredible. Obviously, like it's not the same experience for me. Like I was doing it online and I was home, and you know, it was different. But still, like, yeah, it was just a really cool like opportunity for me to like be at home and kind of check in with myself. And it's weird, like even seeing pictures of me at school, I feel like that was a different person from now. Like it sounds cheesy. I'm not like, oh, I'm different now, but like, you know what I mean? Like
kind of wake you up from like, you know, like you said, you keep your head down. You're like just trying to get through it. Yeah. And now you're kind of like, okay, now I understand where I was. Like, I can get back there.
And I even know like after this year, I'm going to be like, what was I doing? You know, like even my junior year is going to be weird.
Of course.
And like I'm going to make different choices too than I would have. But I'm excited. I'm like supposed to be an RA when I go back, which I'm looking forward to.
That's awesome. Hyper involved.
Yeah. And what's funny is like RAs have such like a reputation, like, oh, you have to like bust people for doing bad stuff. But like I go to a Christian college and like, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. Like it's not, I don't really anticipate.
Those are the kids who
those
break bad. That's true.
Yeah.
What I don't know. It's just funny. Like it seemed like everyone there is like keeping themselves like accountable. Like it was like them,
built
like,
into the culture,
like,
right?
Kind of thing.
Yeah, like a lot of. But I mean, no hate. Like good for you guys.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. No hate.
But I'm excited. I'm more excited just to be like the hype person. Like, let's have a great time. Like, let's go to chapel. Yeah. I like being a hype person. But yeah.
4 episodes, huh?
I know.
Well,
my
more
time.
or less. I don't know about that.
You'll be back.
I just pulled out a number.
Oh yeah,
it's about a month.
Yeah.
But
I'll be back.
I mean, that's something I think if you watch the show regularly, you should know. Like, it's not like you'll be gone forever.
No.
Like if you're in town and you're here, you're obviously going to be on.
We'll keep the chair warm for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too warm, but
the space will be.
I don't like
open.
when I sit down. It's
Ryan and I
not.
joked about putting. Maybe it was you and I don't know. Somebody did about putting just like a candle in your spot and just like not addressing it, like. And then like maybe a photo of you, or no, like your laptop still plugged in, but we'll get like a fake one, obviously. They're not gonna be yours, and just like keep it there, like you're there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
that's
good.
kind of beautiful.
We're gonna cut some sound bites.
That's really
mainly
metaphorical.
the cursing and trying to go.
Okay.
Every once in a while, it's like
little beep, little beep.
It's like Morse code all of a sudden. What is that? Oh, Olivia.
Yeah. It was me speaking from beyond.
Yeah.
That it does kind of bring up.
Brings it up.
Just end
called
my
it out.
career. Just end my career now.
up.
Podcasting is.
You got it.
Okay. It brings up an interesting topic of like, I mean, everyone here went to school.
More or less.
Didn't finish, but I went.
You went to school, okay?
Went to Grossmont.
I went to fake school.
Well, all of us graduated. That's a good
High school
across the board.
It was so ridiculous when I look back at it. Like at one point, I was just taking class. I was telling the story this last weekend because I was at Colorado with Jordan and all of her college friends, and they were like, "Oh, so, like, did you go to college for something?" And I was like, "No." I said, I went to college, and I was like, I was thinking back on it. I was like, college. There was literally a time where I was like taking classes, not even knowing if they were going towards my major.
Yeah.
Like I was in poetry. I was in poetry 104. Which like
Which
the
means you
first
took
thing
3.
No. I didn't take 3.
Oh, you
I
just
ended up
jumped
in
in.
poetry 104.
You just jumped into 4.
And I remember the first thing he said was like, "Oh, well, you guys have taken 102 and 103," and I was like, "Yes, I have."
That's beautiful.
Also, there's like so many books. Didn't buy a single one. I passed the class. I don't even know how I did it. I had a whole portfolio of poetry. I don't know.
That's kind of beautiful,
Wow.
though.
Yeah,
I mean, there
it was.
you go.
I'll tell you what, fun class.
Yeah.
Because the guy was kind of quirky.
Yes.
I mean, he was like he basically an English major that like does poetry on the side. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
like
his passion.
it's one of those things where they kind of filler class. I think.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like you could teach that class.
a little bit like with the right. What's the word? Dang it.
Curriculum.
Credentials?
Curriculum.
Oh, curriculum.
Curriculum. I
Yeah.
could totally teach it.
Totally.
Handkerchief.
But yeah, it was. So my college experience was crazy. But anyways, what were you saying?
I mean, it just.
So you're
it-
pivoting to high school. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I'm thinking about the fact that like for me at least, in high school, it felt like I had like a huge group of friends,
Yeah.
and like there was all these different people I'd hang out with,
Love
like
this topic.
a lot of like. I don't know, just different people from school and like we did like theater. So like it was just like always, I was constantly hanging out with people.
Yes.
And then I realized when I went to college, I was like, oh crap, like this is really hard to make friends because I'm so used to having friends
Yeah.
that I assumed like, oh, it would just come really easy to me.
Yeah.
And then coming home, I was like, where is everybody? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like what about all these people I was hanging out with before? Like, what are they doing now? And it's like, oh, a lot of them went to college, and then a lot of them
Stayed there.
Like,
they're
just
all still hanging out, but they're over there now. you know?
and it's just
Yeah.
like everybody is kind of spread out, and like it's not like you're not forced to see these people, so you don't like hang out with them,
Yeah.
or like unless you're like actively trying to hang out with those same people, like you just won't see them.
The campus is also triples in size. Maybe
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
even quadruples.
Yeah.
Think about that. Too.
Yeah.
Like high school, I mean, you guys, you went to a really small
I went to a
high
pretty
school.
small high
So
school. Yeah.
you definitely knew everybody.
Yeah.
But even I went to Santana, which is the smallest school in the district or whatever. It was only
Oh, wow.
It's only like
Yeah,
What
it's
was your
pretty small.
graduating
people.
class?
Like 300 people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My graduating class was 70.
Incredible.
70. Yeah, I literally knew everyone's name. Like,
And their whole life story.
and like a third of them I went to kindergarten with. Like,
Insane.
yeah, insane.
Yeah, so I mean, I think just like real estate wise, you know, and you really only share in high school. You share classes with probably, you know, a lot, like there's multiple people that you share multiple classes
Yeah,
with.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. For
Where
sure.
in college, it's like you could literally have one class with one person.
One person, yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
I was going to Grossmont, it was like every class was like a brand new.
Yeah.
because we were all just doing different things. you
Totally.
know?
There was
Totally.
So I can see that.
There was a class that I was in when I was at SDSU, and it was like a big lecture class, and I befriended these 2 girls, and then at the end of the semester, they like found a picture that I had posted online of like me and Dallas taking a selfie in like our what's it called when you first go and you like meet a bunch of people. Orientation.
Yeah.
Got
Yep.
it.
And those 2 girls were in the background photobombing.
Oh, how funny.
Isn't that weird? Because at the end they were like, wait, that picture on that's us in the back, and now
Oh
we're
my
friends.
gosh.
That's
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm not friends with them anymore.
Yeah, it's just weird. I see what you're saying. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I was one of those. I had the same experience, which is funny because I thought that only happened if you stayed back and did community college.
Oh, really?
Because I stayed back. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even apply to colleges. I was like, I'm going to Grossmont. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Which, looking back,
Interesting.
When I'm looking back, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
I don't have. It's not a regret necessarily.
But just
'cause I'm
to
happy
see.
with the way my life that has gone so far.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
But I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
But when everyone went to college, it was so isolating.
Yeah.
Because I was like, all my friends were. I was friends with the smart kids, so they
Yeah.
all went to like UCLA,
Harvard.
UC
like,
Santa Barbara,
huge,
or
big
whatever. Like
schools.
crazy.
Yeah.
Go banana
Like
slugs.
somebody went to like not Harvard, but what's that? What's that big,
Yale?
is there a big one in Boston?
That's Harvard.
No.
Something. It's something.
Boston
School of
College?
Yeah, something like
Oh,
that.
Berkeley?
Berkeley.
Yeah, Berkeley.
Okay.
So all those kids went to really smart, like really big schools, and I was like, and I remember like the summer, after the summer ended, people started leaving, and I would go to all the like leaving, like, you know, leaving
Going away
town
parties, yeah.
going away parties. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, whoa, it was
Yeah.
just crazy.
They're gone.
It's a weird feeling.
And
Yeah.
I think there probably is, ironically, more like camaraderie in community college, because we
Yeah.
kind of like all
Yeah.
hated it. You
Yeah,
know? Like,
totally.
I remember I made a lot of friends in
Did
community
you?
college. Weirdly, yeah.
That's
like people
so
that
cool.
I feel like I could still hang out with now, which is so
Really?
weird. And then I was taking night classes for a long time, and that's all like adults and parents and like people who are, you know.
Yeah.
And the night professors were so cool, because
That's
they were just
awesome.
like they were like, listen, we know you have like a job, you know. I was like, we're not gonna keep
Give
you
you a
late
ton
or
of
whatever,
work
you know.
and-
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a 3-hour class that never went to 3 hours. It was always like an hour and a half, and they're like, okay, you're good. See you later.
So nice.
So I had that immediate isolation, which is
Yeah.
weird, because you're saying you had that kind of the same thing.
yeah, I think everybody goes through it. I think like as much as people want to act like, oh yeah, I'm having a great time at college, like there's a period of time where you just want to be home.
Like you're just in the new
Yeah.
environment.
Yes.
Like, okay, now you're here.
yeah.
Like wherever
Like
that is.
there was super fun stuff we were doing. Like the first weekend, everybody kept saying like, yeah, the first weekend of college feels like summer camp because it's all activities and you're freshmen, you haven't started your classes yet, and you're constantly meeting people, and it just feels like summer camp. And I remember dreading that because I was like, this doesn't feel like summer camp because I'm not with anybody I know. And so I'm experiencing these like what are supposed to be really fun things, but I'm constantly on edge because I'm not with like a group of people I know.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we had fun things that I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be really fun. Like I can't wait. And then I'm like, wait, who am I going with? Like I'm by myself. I have to go to a water park event like all alone. Like what am I going to do?
Yeah.
But then like you just meet people and whatever,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you get through
Isn't
it.
it weird how like being social and like having that kind of muscle is such a thing?
Yeah.
Because I
It
always
takes
get,
so much energy.
and I always
Yeah.
get
So
super
much.
It
nervous
does.
like going into it.
Yes.
Like this last weekend, like I said, I went to Colorado, and the plan for 4th of July was like we were just gonna hang out with some of Jordan's cohort, you know, friends,
People, uh-huh.
right? And we were gonna go to one of her friends' parents' house.
Oh, fun.
And I was like, I got really nervous. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know any of these people. Like,
Yeah.
I literally am just gonna go to this random person's
Yeah.
house, and I'm gonna like have lunch or dinner or whatever, and like hang out like normal fire. Because like 4th of July here at my house is like insane. It's all day.
Yeah.
And it's everyone
Yeah.
I've ever probably met or known. You know.
Yeah.
And so for the first time in 24 years, I'm like going into something completely new.
Yeah.
So it was weird, and I ended up having such a great time.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
fully, like I was talking to the girl's grandparents at one point, like fully talking about how they met, and like talking to
Yeah.
him, and her grandpa was like giving me this really intense pearl of wisdom about loving what you do, and,
Wow.
and it was like insane. And I came out of it being like, that is such like a thing, you know, like
Yeah.
like that's not everybody could do that, and that's not like a flex on me or anything.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm so thankful to have social skills,
Mm-hmm.
because in that situation I could have felt so like
Yeah.
awkward.
Yes, totally.
But something about just like knowing, like getting into it and having
Yeah.
a good conversation. And a lot of it is the people too. Like they were
Yeah.
great people too. But
yeah.
it was
totally.
just crazy.
Totally.
I feel like going back to college stuff.
Yeah.
My college was kind of like high school with the amount of people, and it's really the class that you start with. It's like a class of 19, 20 people. If you start with them and you like take your summers off, you skip summer semester, you will end with them. So it's like high
Yeah.
school in that way.
Yeah.
But for me, when I went, since Ryan was there, it would always be like new people being like, hey, come and hang out with us in the dorms.
Yeah.
Like, come in. Because all the freshmen were in a certain dorm, but I was in like a bougie dorm for some reason.
Yeah. Typical.
They'd be like, come and hang out. We're going to a party. And I'd be like, no, I'm going to Ryan's.
Oh, good rise.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we both kind of went to similar colleges in that way. Like, and you know, it's funny, like looking back now, I'm like, you know, we always had that sounding board of like each other. And obviously my brother like lived with me too. And it's like, I don't know if did I rely on that too much? And like, did I not thrust myself into it enough? I don't know, because it was always easy to be like, oh yeah, like, you know, we're hanging out, we're doing whatever tonight. And they would have like towards the end of because I only did 2 years, right, at MI.
Yeah.
And but like towards the end of those years, you could see like, oh, they're, I started with them, with them. They're all like together. Yeah. And you're like, oh shoot,
I really started befriending people when I became an RA. Just because I would have like my shift. And it was from like 6 to midnight, and I'd just have to sit in my building at this desk and wait for anyone to call, go through the halls, like try and smell weed, all this stuff.
Try to smell it.
Yeah, I had to go.
I'm gonna seek it out.
That took up a lot of time because I'd have to go.
Like part of your duties, like
I had to walk the halls, 5 floors. But I would have people like in my class come and like visit me, and then I had to do like every couple of months we had to do events. So like. One night I did like a tea night, and I provided like hot tea for everybody, and we watched a movie.
Like spilling drama.
Tea party.
Oh, no.
Like here's the tea.
Everybody confront your
We had a
enemies.
Taylor Swift listening party for one of them. We did henna for one of them. So it was like all my friends.
A listening party? What was that like?
Reputation came out. So
you guys just sat around and you're like,
yeah. Heck yeah.
Reputation.
Nice.
It was all Swifties.
You ever been to a listening party?
I know I haven't.
We got a big reputation.
I mean, I
that's pretty sad.
understand what it is, like, but I've always thought it's like for artists who like.
You sound like you just landed on our planet just now. You're like, I understand. From the Latin descent.
I know what it is.
Listening meaning to use your ears to hear, and party meaning a congregation.
What I'll say, I've never heard of a listening party for like a famous artist.
Oh, really?
I get it for like bands that create music, like come hang out and like listen to my album.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But and I know like famous people do that themselves, but I've never seen of like a group of people listening to somebody else's music by themselves in a room. Is that weird?
John,
Oh, that's good.
I got you.
Thank you.
I got you.
So
No, wait, hey, we're gonna have a listening party. All right?
yeah.
I'd love to go to a Dive Vibe listening party. That sounds great.
Well,
But I'm not going to sit here and listen to Taylor Swift's new album with you for. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
See, that was the great thing about the RA events is because they weren't like you didn't have to go. So it was all of the core group of people who like Taylor Swift who went. So
Yeah.
the core Swifties.
The real people.
yes, but yeah, college was like that.
Look,
high
I'm
school.
gonna back off my
when
Taylor Swift hater.
when Switchfoot comes out with their new album.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a listening party.
Okay.
Done.
I understand.
Come
When
on.
is
Maybe
that?
I came off too
I
harsh.
don't know.
They're not. I don't know.
They're doing a tour, so they're probably coming out with an album.
John would
Diego.
know. John would know if it was. He would know.
They are coming to San Diego. That I really want to see.
When's that?
I want to say October. I don't know. I looked at the date and I almost bought tickets.
Did you?
And I was like, nah, I shouldn't. I'm saving for a wedding. Trying to be responsible.
Right, that's good. That's good.
Kill me.
Right.
Honestly, kill me.
Dude, honestly,
Trying to be responsible.
not me.
Someone else.
I was gonna say like, it is like such a experience of like, oh, I have to go meet people. Like that's just such a like time, and I feel like that is where I grew the most because you like in high school and just growing up, like a lot of my identity I think was found in like my family and like the people around me and just like my communities.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I really knew like who I was, you know?
Whoa.
And so having to constantly like talk with people about who you are kind of gives you a different
that
perspective.
gets exhausting.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, and in the same kind of, room of that, it's like when you grow up, people start to like impress things onto you.
Yeah.
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
And not even in a bad way.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But like you become like the guy who does podcasts.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
that was like very much me. And so when you go into a new place where like nobody knows who you are,
yeah.
I think there's like an element where like I could be the guy that everyone knows me at home.
Yeah.
Or I could try something else out.
Yep. Totally.
So that's I guess what I was getting at. I think my experience was when I went to college, I thought I knew who I was.
Yeah.
I was like, this is who I am. I'm, the funny guy and I like to play guitar. And so I went to school and like you said, like that's like such a formative time, but I kept going like, no, like I'm just going to go home because, my friends are at home, like whatever. I'm just going to go hang out with Cara. Like this is who I am, And I think in retrospect, I I don't think. I know I definitely didn't. Like, obviously, we're changing all the time.
Yeah.
But I think I let that get to me too much, that I didn't let myself out enough.
I was
and, like, meet new people. And
I was the girl who went to San Diego a lot because we went home a lot.
Right.
Or was at her boyfriend's apartment.
Yeah.
Right.
Safety
Yeah.
blanket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Totally.
I was
And
the
but-
opposite at Grossmont. I was
but
hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
Two of
brand
my
new.
close friends from college are some of my bridesmaids.
Yep.
See, I
but
can't say I got any
it took
girls with
it
that.
took a year of living on your own though to like really build those relationships. Really, right? I mean,
Well, I got lucky with Lily because we got paired as roommates, and it was
That's
like, wait,
true.
you're from San Diego? I'm from San Diego.
Yeah.
So
she was from the
and then
really from the
Aislinn,
beginning.
Yeah.
Aislinn was in my very first class. So we would have started and ended, but since I did a year at SDSU, I had all of my gen ed done.
Yeah.
So I ended a whole year before them.
Wow.
But
SDSU, huh? What was that like?
Sucked.
Really?
I went there just because I knew that I didn't really want to move away
Yeah.
and leave home.
Yeah, of course.
But I found that it was so big that I couldn't get into anything.
Yeah.
Like I would literally, and I didn't live in the dorms because I'm 10 minutes away driving.
Yeah.
So I would go to class and go home, go to class, go home. And it was
See-
just like, it was too big. I felt like I couldn't meet people.
Yeah.
And when I did try and get into things, I was too busy for it because of either work or
Yeah, and
other stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
You guys
So then I
had like
dropped
the
out.
perfect situation. You guys you did a year and then you did 2 years together.
Right.
And then did you do 1 year in LA without Ryan?
I did.
Whole year.
Whole year without a car.
Ugh, long distance.
Didn't have a car.
You know that's like, man.
But I had Lily.
Yeah.
You guys, you're doing real long distance. We
Yeah.
did like fake
Yeah.
long
We
distance.
Yeah, it's no joke, man. I'll tell
Yeah.
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 you. Yeah, I'll transition to this.
Oh,
I have a
yes.
story for you guys regarding
ahead.
kind of long distance.
Yep.
Drove Jordan back this weekend. We had to drive my car to Colorado because she needs a car out there. Whole thing. So, sorry.
I'd love to hear how that transpired, but
What?
how she made out with your car.
Oh yeah. Well, her car wouldn't make it, and so my car. It's one of those things. I mean, you'll agree with me. You do anything for Cara. Like if
Well, all right.
okay,
I don't think
that's a
anything.
lot. You would do anything for Cara. You know it.
Kill myself for Cara.
Whoa.
Go ahead, John.
Anyways, so that's how it worked out. She gets the car, and I don't really drive. I work from home. Like I was realizing, I don't do like any driving like I used to. And so we're driving out there. We halfway mark from here to Greeley, Colorado. Gosh.
Really?
Ooh, really
Great part of the
exciting
country,
stuff,
Greeley.
by the way. Oh, you've
Great part of the
been
country.
there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Beautiful, beautiful town.
And the halfway mark is, we figured out the best place is Richfield, Utah. Now, what you should know about Utah is a lot of polygamy,
Mormons.
Yep.
Mormons. Yeah, and a
What
lot,
you should know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, that show Escaping Polygamy or whatever.
Yeah.
No,
it's
they're-
like
you just
in
combined
Utah.
two shows, but yes.
Breaking Amish. is
Sister
what it's
Wives
called.
and Breaking Amish. I don't think there's any escaping
Polygamy. I'm pretty sure
polygamy.
there's a show that. Thank you.
Escaping polygamy.
Hey, this would be great
No.
to look this up,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, I'll look it up.
It's almost like
There should be
You-
somebody on the show with a computer.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
types.
Escaping polygamy. Why would they have to
Anyways,
escape?
Because it's insane. Anyways, you're asking why would anyone want to escape polygamy? That's what you just
Well,
said.
it's a life choice. It's not exactly a cult.
Oh,
Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Is this a theme song for polygamy?
it is a
Oh,
show.
it is.
We
It
are
is Sisters Who
escaping
Left.
Yep.
Wait, it says escaping polygamy follows the work of three sisters who left the Kingston Clan, a secretive polygamous group based in Salt Lake City, Utah, known as the
Told
Order,
you.
as they helped both loved ones and strangers break free of polygamy.
Yeah.
F.
So that's our bit on
The
TV
heck?
shows. So that's
It was real all along.
okay,
Okay,
where
go ahead, John. So we're getting caught up on this.
Yeah.
I have a feeling
Utah
it's
is creepy, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
specifically
The whole thing.
Richfield.
Throw it out.
Oh, I don't want to. Sorry, guys. If you're listening and you're from Utah, I'm
Like,
sure where
escape.
you were was great.
No.
If you happen to be in Richfield,
out.
I think there's
John Albright.
Richfield was rough, and so it's like a small town. Like when we first went, it was in COVID because that's when she went to school. And the only Starbucks is like inside of what's called a Lin's, which I would imagine is like a Albertsons
Bonds.
or a Bonds
Oh, okay.
version. Utah version. And so we're driving there, and like the first time we planned, like scheduled and like booked a hotel, right? This time we're like, well, it's like we'll book one on the way. Like it wasn't like super priority because we knew we could go to the one that we stayed in last time. Anyway, we are driving there the whole way. To set up the scene for you, we're listening to Crime Junkie.
Oh God!
I love
Crime
Junkie.
Junkie. Great podcast.
Oh no!
Oh,
And
True crimes
So
we'll
situation.
get into
Yeah.
sometime.
People
Yeah,
getting
it's
got.
true crime. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's run by two best friends that grew up together. Pretty good. So we're listening to creepy stories all the way there, like bathtub killer, like all the crazy ones.
Kills
Heard
people
of
in the
him?
bathtub.
did you listen to the
Yeah.
one of the
Toilet
guy
killer.
who
Kills people with the toilet.
He has a murder bucket that he digs in the
I
ground.
haven't gotten to that
That's
one yet.
Dexter.
Anyways, so we're listening to Crime
Okay.
Junkie. We're driving to Richfield, Utah, and we look it up, and she finds a hotel called Apple Tree Inn. I mean, if this is your warning, don't go to Apple Tree Inn.
Okay. In Utah.
Stay
It's
away.
$100. No, it's apparently like a franchise, whatever. You can. They're everywhere, whatever.
Apple tree.
Apple Tree Inn. We get there.
Looking
It's
it
cheap,
now.
right? So we get there, and it's like motel for sure. Like it's the one story, like all the way
Yeah.
down. It looks like Bates Motel. That's immediately what, like Jordan said. She's like, "This feels like Bates Motel," and I'm like,
Oh, there's one in Julian.
"Whatever."
We'll be
yeah,
there.
you go. I don't know if that one. I
That
can't
one's
speak to
probably
that
bougie.
one.
That one's probably bougie.
Can't speak to
it's
that
Julian.
one. But so we go into the lobby, and there's like this really creepy guy, and his computer is underneath the counter.
No.
And so he's like, and he's like looking up, and he's got very quick movements for whatever reason. And we're like, yeah, that's
The one row.
And Jordan's like,
Wait, put it on the screen.
Jordan's like, I have a reservation for Jordan
just show our
Teagard,
camera.
and he's like, Jordan Teagard. He goes, he's like, I don't have anybody for that name. And Jordan's like. He's like, do you have the, he said, do you have the reservation number? We're like looking through our email. We find it. He's like, and then he finds it before we can even give him the number. So stupid. And he's like, oh, cool. He's like, you guys need one bed or two beds, or like, what's the situation? And I'm like, he's like trying to fill it. It's like a normal question, but it felt really invasive. And I was like, we're like, whatever works. Like, whatever, we're not super picky. He's like, oh, I'll hook you up.
Okay.
And we're like, don't know what that means.
Cool.
Anyways, ended up charging us more money than what we reserved for.
what the
it was
heck?
like it was like $30 more.
So not
he
a free upgrade.
upcharged us, yeah.
Okay.
So we get into our room, and it's like, it is kind of creepy. I'm gonna give you a reference photo that I sent to Ryan. I'll put it on the screen. So this is pretty much how it was.
Like, was it dirty?
It was definitely.
Like unclean, unkept?
So yeah, it definitely felt a little like stuffy and dingy. Dingy. That's
Yeah.
exactly the word.
Yep.
Did it smell
And-
bad?
It didn't smell terrible. So this
Musky?
was the vibe. If you can
Okay.
understand this.
I do.
Okay.
I love that.
It's like a grandma's.
I was like,
room.
how was it? And he sends me a picture, and he's just Googled bad hotel. And
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
the picture on Google.
That looks like a
hotel.
TV set of someone's gonna get murdered
I
in.
had to give you.
I forgot what your reference was.
I said this is bad. This is bad energy.
He's like, here's the vibe.
Because let me tell you, the reason I didn't get any photos is like the moment we walked in, Jordan goes, I can't stay here.
Wow.
And I was like,
Did she give a reason why?
she said she just didn't like it was just super creepy.
Because she freaked herself out with Crime Junkie.
I
the
think-
whole
real?
way.
Oh.
I think it was kind of both, for sure. I will say it was creepy. So then I was like trying to make it better, right? I was like, the bed, it's like, look, it's like, it's a good bed. Like, we'll just sleep here and we'll leave like right in the morning.
Right,
like,
right,
no big
right,
deal.
right.
Trying to, and then I pull up the sheet.
Oh no.
Cockroach.
Oh no.
A stain. This
No.
For if you're listening to the podcast, it's like a 12-inch stain.
Wow, he really hooked
And
you
then I
up.
was like, oh gosh. So then I go, I don't know, something happened and I happened to like brush up against it. It was like crusty hard.
No.
Not like,
No.
just like a stain
No,
on the
no,
sheets
no,
I couldn't
no.
get out. It was clearly a substance.
Ew.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Why?
And then also creepy. So it's like this, right? On the picture I have here. And then off to the left of the bed, there's a door. You go through the door and there's like a bed with there's a room with just one bed in it. No nightstand, no lights, just a single bed that's like smaller lights? Than that one. It just is in its own room. And I was like, what's the point of this?
The ghost bedroom.
Like, this is the master, this is the guest bedroom or whatever. Jordan's like, I can't stay here.
No.
Yeah, nope.
So then Jordan's like, you need to go back to the creepy lobby with the creepy guy and tell him we can't stay. And I was like, what am I going to say? And she said, can you ask for our money back?
Money back, yeah.
I'm like, so now I'm going to go
there,
back to the lobby and be like, hey, we can't stay, but also can we get our money back? And I was like, this is not going to go well, you know?
So all you have to say
you go
is,
back to the lobby.
I want my
I go
money
back to the lobby and
says, why are you leaving so soon?
He's like, why are you leaving?
He's gone.
I was like, oh, we're not going to stay. And he's like, oh, is everything all right? And I was like, yeah. You know, like the room is just kind of like a little bit rough, and my girlfriend.
He's like, let me help you to your car.
Yeah.
No, we're fine. Get the bags. No, let me help you.
He's like, are you forgetting something? He has like their keys in his hand.
Yeah.
Jordan, are those our keys? I'm trying to paint a picture.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So we go to our tried and true Best Western, which is where we stayed last
Yes.
time. By the way,
Why wouldn't you just go straight there?
because it was the cheapest one. This was the cheapest one.
Yeah, but
so,
it looks sketchy.
Before or after the upgrade?
So yeah, I mean it was $100 when we booked it. We paid $130, and so that's where like kind of the upcharge happened there. And then the hotel we ended up staying in, which wasn't the Best Western, it was the one like next to it, was $160. So I was like, we should have just stayed there,
Bro. That's
but everything
the best
was sold out.
$30 you ever spent.
Best Western was sold out. So then we get to Super 8, which I always thought was like kind of gross. Very nice.
Really?
At least in Richfield. I don't know.
That's weird.
So the best part is at Best Western, where like Jordan's like trying to give him the vibe.
Dark again.
And Jordan's like, yeah, we went to Apple Tree Inn. It's like really gross. And the guy just goes, well, it's Apple Tree Inn. So
Oh my gosh, no.
I was like,
there's a story
common
there.
knowledge?
He's like,
there's a story there.
Hopefully they didn't put you in the room with the bed.
with the stain.
With the extra room.
The extra random
226.
bed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was so
That's exactly
weird.
the room they put us in.
And so we got to the Super 8. It was like I mean, I don't know how true it is. I feel like sometimes people like, it's the last room available, you know?
Yeah.
So I was fully expecting to pay like $300-$400.
Oh, shit.
Because, you know, like we don't have a reservation. We're just literally walking in, you know? And I feel like, I mean, maybe I have this all wrong, but I feel like hotels, they get cheaper like when you book them in advance.
Yeah.
I feel like the closer you get, it gets
More
more
or less.
expensive.
Depends.
right?
It depends.
If
But
they're
then I don't
like,
really know, right? If they don't, then I thought like if we don't stay in it, then no one will stay in it. And there's like no
Yeah.
money, right?
True.
So we stayed in a hotel with a jacuzzi bathtub.
Whoa.
Pretty cool,
Nice.
right?
Yeah, kind of gross.
I don't know.
gross.
I don't know if did you use it?
No. It was cool.
It makes the bathroom
I turned it
bougie.
on for sure because I wanted
Makes you,
to see how it looked.
makes you
how it
feel
was.
like you're getting
seemed
something
bougie.
more though. Yeah.
Yep.
And
I love that.
yeah, it was one of those things. It was
Wow.
yeah, it was crazy.
That's disgusting.
Well, then I started thinking about hotels.
Yeah.
And how crazy it is that like how much responsibility and trust we're putting into
Yeah.
a hotel. Like literally anyone can start a hotel with the right amount of money.
Bates Motel.
Bates Motel is like exactly it, right? You could start a hotel if you're like a serial killer, let's say, and you could literally just murder people, and it would take forever for people to figure it out. I feel like.
Yeah. No,
Oh
totally.
yeah, no random
No, you
serial
find the
killers. They like
people
never figure it out, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
In Bates
Like,
Motel, you find the people. Oh no, it's more psycho, I guess.
No,
that
I mean they would
brought
find
this
people
story
would
in.
find out almost
If you-
immediately.
People who don't
I don't
have
think so. No
family.
security cameras. They
But
can
if they go
actually-
missing,
if you're
they
in
go
an
missing,
establishment, yeah, maybe. But
if
like,
they're consistently going missing in the same place, then yes.
But
like
that's why
almost
you find the
immediately.
people who don't have family
But if
or
you're the
that don't
guy
have
that owns
connections.
it, you just go, oh yeah, they checked out this time.
Yeah.
when
You have
they
to
got
feel
on the
them out.
road.
Yep.
they left.
Yep.
They're
Here's the
never gonna-
records.
I mean, they might make a connection, but it would take. You know how it would take to like connect all these people to that hotel. I mean, you know, and especially if they're out of towners, like from
Yeah.
different spots.
Yeah, that's
of
rough.
the country. I was
Terrifying.
like scary as heck. I mean,
and
oh my
they have
gosh.
keys to every room,
Yeah.
so they could come in the middle of the night and open your
So
door.
that was one of the things. We were sleeping in the hotel at 3 a.m. I hear a noise in the hotel room, and I was like, "We're dead." Naturally, I was like texting my will. I was like,
Yep.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
good. That's good. That's good.
and I somehow now
dead.
listen. I was a little freaked out by this. I took my belt off and I put it on the desk in the hotel room.
Okay.
When I got up, the noise was so loud. Like I got up because I was like, I have to
Yeah.
check it, you know. And my belt like got pushed off of the desk. Like it was on like the floor, like literally 5 feet away. It wasn't
Ghost
like
cat.
it
Ghost
knocked
cat.
off. It was like it got like launched from the desk. I don't know,
Weird.
man. I'll tell you.
Weird.
How do you feel about hotels?
Just can't win. Love them.
I love hotels.
I love
But
hotels.
have you thought about how scary
Can't
it is?
say that I love them.
Oh, and how unclean.
Okay, let me back up. I love like really nice hotels. Like you go to a bougie hotel and like
Yeah.
like travel. It's like travel. I love to travel. I love to like go
The
to
big
new
hotel
places and everything.
bed.
Yeah. I love that.
In recent years, I've been kind of grossed out by hotels.
I've told you about my sleeping thing. I can't. I realize hotels are a disaster for me.
Really?
Like something about sleeping in a new bed, like
Yeah.
it throws me off. Like I don't sleep at all.
Well, I can kind of sleep anywhere. So, I mean, literally, like I could fall
Listen,
asleep in this chair right here.
If
like,
Yeah, same.
Get a good
there
night's
was
sleep.
one ability that I wish I could regain from like my younger self, it would be being able to sleep anywhere. When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I could sleep on a freaking rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's
I still
like
can.
it has to be the perfect conditions, and I get like 6 hours of sleep, and I'm like,
Mine
screw
is
this.
if I'm
Yeah.
going to a hotel, it has to be more than one night stay because that one night
It's awful.
that's when I can't sleep. But then
The
after
first
that,
night.
it's like
That's true.
I don't
I-
like the pillows in hotel rooms because they're too deflated. Like
or
you
too
just
puffy.
Sink. Yeah.
It is. It's just one of those like social contract things. Like you're in a new place and you need somewhere to rest your head, and everybody's it's like, what are they not cleaning the sheets? Like if they're not cleaning the sheets, yeah, go stay somewhere else. Like they're
No,
not
I think it's
making
just-
a good hotel. Like
It's even if they are cleaning it, how much can you clean it when you have that many people coming in and out? You know what I mean? Like how
True.
well? It's not like you're
Sure.
going to deep clean it every day.
so you just
Well,
you
that's
take
why
your lumps and you sleep
get
there,
to a
'cause
hotel
you gotta
and
sleep
they're
somewhere.
like,
But it's kind of
oh,
gross.
your room
So you can go
isn't
sleep on a
ready
park bench?
because they're deep cleaning it
Yeah,
or
I
just
didn't-
changing the sheet.
Like you said, they're probably just changing the sheets. But
yeah.
Yeah.
But like those videos of like the people with the black lights and they like go through hotel rooms, like disgusting.
anywhere.
You
I feel like that's
Do you see
anywhere.
this woman on TikTok? She's like an intense news reporter in like the Midwest.
No.
And she does all these crazy stories. Well, one time she did a hotel one where they used like some sort of spray
Solution.
that shows up
Yeah.
with UV light, and they like sprayed the news station logo on the sheets, and then under a different name tried to stay in the same room. Then like the next day, and they went back and the sheets weren't changed. Like I still had that stuff.
Ew.
And they
Yeah.
called in the manager. They're like, "What do you have to say about this?" And they're like, and the manager's like, "Well, I assume they clean the sheets every day." And then they pulled in like the housekeeper, and she's like, "I don't know."
I don't know.
Dude, yeah, no, I saw
Yikes.
this invention one time. I think it was on Shark Tank, and it was like a bed bug catcher.
Yeah.
And they had some crazy
No,
percentage. Like
no,
every
no,
time
no.
people would bring these like bed bug catchers to like hotel rooms, whatever, before their stay, and like 9 times out of 10 it would catch a bug. Like every single time it was used, it was like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Is that insane? I'm like, I don't know. There's something gross about it. But at the
definitely
same time, like
terrifying.
it's fun because you're not home and it's in
You're
a
in
new
a
space.
hotel,
But
yeah.
still, it's like
If you don't pay attention to that, you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could spin out on anything like that, right? Like, you know how much fun like the public pool is? Like, oh, we'll go swim in the pool. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we'll go to Soak City. You
True.
know how much urine you're probably just like
Yeah.
swimming through at all times?
I
Like,
think the
true.
less you know, the better.
Yeah,
You
maybe.
know?
ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah,
When it
that's
comes
true.
to gross bodily functions, like everybody is doing it. Like
we're all
Well,
pooping.
we're all gross.
We're all
like
pooping in beds,
it's just
and beds are being pooped
biology,
into.
right? Like it's just
Like, it's just
anatomy is
fecal
happening at all
matter.
times. That's this whole earth is just like
The reality is
Poop
disgusting.
on a rock.
It's disgusting. The whole thing.
The reality
Throw it
is
out.
like, even if there is bed bugs, like how often do the bed bugs like
Bite
transfer
you.
to your
Oh,
bed?
every
though?
time. Every single time.
Really?
Yeah, you're covered in bed bugs right now. Like, who cares?
Right?
That's
That
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
make any
Gosh.
sense.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like if it is as bad as they say it is, like,
Yeah.
Like how often do you stay in hotels? Like, and you don't bring bed bugs back to your bed.
It's just gross.
You
It's like, ew.
Have you checked your bed for bed bugs?
know? Yeah, well,
That is true.
didn't
They're
say it
not
the
like
Albright, so I feel
bed
good.
bugs aren't like lice,
God.
where lice can travel. They have a place to go. Bed bugs kind
So
of stay.
how
They
does-
go on they go on your clothes.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but how?
I've heard of
fabric.
I've heard of people who have stayed in hotels and their hotel room had bed bugs and they had to like wash all
Evacuate.
of their clothes. My professor told me about this last year. He stayed in a hotel. He was going for a conference. His bed had bed bugs in them, and so they had to literally like burn his clothes because they were covered in
So
like they had
gross.
bed bugs in them. And if you bring that home, you're going to like transfer it to your home. So he had to like go through this whole thing. He had no like extra clothes too, so he had to like be in a robe for like in a different hotel room for like a period of time. It was like a whole thing.
It's biology. I mean, right?
No.
Buggies.
I don't
It's
know.
like, but bed
What's the
bugs
quality
have
of life
same-
there, though?
Well, you don't freak out when you see a fly, though. You know how much germs and nasty,
It's not the same
disgusting.
thing. It is
It's
not the same
thing.
A fly is not going to burrow into your sheets.
What about a
It
flea?
literally
And
does.
produce.
What about
It
a
literally
flea?
does. Not in your sheets,
Are you
but
serious
in your
right now?
food. And then, you know,
No,
has
what
a
are you
million
talking
You ever seen
about?
maggots before? Like,
Yeah, so there's just maggots every time you eat your food.
in the trash can there is.
You're a psychopath.
I'm just saying, like,
for no reason.
life is biology. Biology is disgusting.
I don't know. I got to think about hotels, and I was
Anatomy.
like,
So why wash your hair?
Why do anything? Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Throw it out. Throw
That is
the
the
earth
stupidest
out.
thing I've ever
I
heard.
don't wash my hair.
Go ahead, John. He's spiraling.
yeah.
I don't wash my hair.
I just got to thinking about like hotels because when I was a kid, hotels were just like so cool, and like when you stay in a hotel, it's like the best thing ever. And then, like as like now, I'm thinking like how ridiculous that we like. I mean, again, it's a function that has to exist because like you want to travel, like
Yeah.
it's your choice. If you want to travel, you got to stay in a hotel. This is the reality of
The
certain
place
places.
where I've stayed at the most hotels is Vegas. Because I had
I bet
gone
they're
to
good at
Vegas.
talking about
hotels.
disgusting.
Really, you don't think so?
I don't know.
In
I
Vegas,
had gone to Vegas
they'd
14
be good
years
at
in a
that.
row, 14 summers in a row.
Why?
And always because of dance competitions and then
Don't.
It's called gambling addiction.
Oh yeah, that was a
when I
rough
was
14
when I
year
was
stretch.
6.
No, the people that took you.
Yeah. And then also my brother went to UNLV. So we'd
nice.
visit.
Very nice.
But all of those hotels were always fun because you walked through the casino, the pools were always fun.
Don't you think Vegas has it figured out though? Like if
Oh,
any
yeah.
if any place in the world has figured out hotels, don't you feel like Vegas has figured it out?
Yes.
The one state where
No.
prostitution is legal.
That is true.
You don't think that? But like,
You don't think that
But that
adds
has
another
nothing to-
element to
oh, I guess
all
it
the
does have nothing to do
nastiness?
with hotels.
I didn't realize that.
Well, now you know.
My bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
you're bad, Josh.
Well, I just feel like it's like
No. You're 100% right. It's disgusting. Like people coming in,
It's crazy.
You know, sleeping on the bed.
What
and
happened
then-
to its biology?
Well, life is disgusting. That's what I'm saying.
What?
Like it's
no,
all
it doesn't
gross.
all have to be disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
yeah. But think about when
To
you come
live
home,
in your
when
own
you come
poop.
home from traveling though. There's no feeling like coming home from a long.
Well,
a long
yeah.
trip. Like you just like everything. You feel gross. Like
Yeah.
you have to shower.
I've
you
thought
know?
about like part of me has been like maybe I could be a flight attendant.
Oh, really?
Even though I hate flying.
First of all, love
But
that.
I don't
love that for you.
Can you give us one of these?
Give us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your exit
you don't
rows?
really have a.
They're not fully in sync.
Yeah, honestly.
Wait,
impressed.
hold on. You've thought about being a flight attendant? Is this something
Part
you're
of me
still
has.
thinking about?
No.
Part of her.
Oh.
Only because I hate flying for
free
one.
flights, huh?
I hate it. But I don't know how because it's like 10 months out of the year that you're not home.
Well, yeah, you're flying
Well,
everywhere.
Not really. Kind
So,
of.
like,
It's like spread out in
Yeah.
between that.
It's like
Like,
a couple days a week, right?
Yeah, but then
you always get free flights home though. Like you can
well, yeah.
go home.
Yeah. But it's so much staying in hotels that it's like and you're barely home.
That's a lot. One of
yeah.
my brother's like longtime friends is a flight attendant, and he told me I'm gonna keep his name safe because he could literally get fired.
oh,
But basically,
There was once a man.
he told me some horror stories about being a flight attendant that like would make you
Scarred you?
literally never want to even be mean to a flight attendant.
did he have to like clean up someone's like throw up?
One time a dog came on flight.
No.
Pooped all over.
Service dog had diarrhea. Like shooting diarrhea.
Shooting.
No, it was like projectile, like no joke.
Life,
So sad.
life is disgusting.
And he had
Shut up.
It is.
Shut
Listen,
up.
He had to clean it up.
Oh my
he did.
gosh.
Of course he did.
He was saying that like being a flight attendant, you basically wherever you're based,
Yeah.
a lot of times it's not where you want to be based.
Yep.
It takes a long time to get that way, but so he was based out of like Utah. Shoot.
Whoa.
I don't know if it was Utah.
Out of the
Escaping.
apple tree inn.
Don't.
Escaping polygamy.
But they have they had like a crash pad between him and his coworkers. So they like would rent out an apartment.
Yeah.
And they get like 6 bunk beds, and it would just like whenever you came in, whenever you left, and they had one car. And they would drive it back and forth, and they'd split everything because you don't make much as a flight
Yeah.
attendant. So they like had this whole like community of flight attendants where you literally would just like come in from a flight to your base, and you would like take where depending on where the car was, you either get picked up or you take
Yeah.
the car from the airport to there, and you like crash in a bunk bed and like share a bathroom with
that's
12 people.
rough.
There's
Dude.
one girl.
Kind of like tiny living, right? Like at that point, you just have to be like, okay, my life right now is experiences. I don't have material
Yeah.
possessions. Like
Yeah,
here I go.
You have
like,
to be in the headspace
There's a
for
girl
sure.
that I follow, an influencer, and she became a flight attendant for Alaska.
Nice.
And I think her first base was like 2.5 hours from her house.
Okay.
So she got lucky that it wasn't like in a different
that's
state.
pretty easy.
But she had the same thing where like she'd go back, and if she had to get on another flight in like an hour from the base, she would stay in like a friend's house.
Yeah. So it doesn't sound very glamorous to me.
No, I
It's
think
gotta
it
be like
seems
a
like it is.
like a transition job for like you're working towards something.
Yeah.
But even then, like you
The only
can't do it
thing
while you're in
that,
school. That doesn't make any
Like
sense.
she would take videos of like, oh, this is the hotel I'm in for the night, but it wasn't even for the night. She'd be there for like 4 hours
Couple
till
hours,
like nap.
yeah. That would
Crazy
suck.
to me.
Well, you think about like, I bet you there's a lot of jobs like that. Like, let's say
Yeah.
you're in a band, right, and you're like on a big tour, and it's like every single day, right? You're
Well, the payoff's a little bigger for a band than a
Is
flight
it? I
attendant.
mean-
Flight
Well, flight
attendant is
attendant-
all the travel and no fun.
yeah, but if you love travel, you're like,
Or
I'm
if
there,
you-
like,
Yeah,
here
but
I
it's
go.
not apples to apples. It's not like you're like
Some of the
performing
flights,
in front of crowds.
you get to like you go there and you're there for a couple days. Like they put you up in a hotel for
Yeah,
a
but
couple
how
days.
often does
But
that
then you're by
happen?
yourself. I
Yeah,
guess
but
if you like
love it.
exploring
You're
by
like,
yourself.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm gonna go see this new state I've never been in.
Utah.
Yeah, Utah.
It's definitely
Who cares?
Utah.
It's a young, it's a young
love it
person's
here.
game. My grandma was a flight attendant, and she was a part of the lawsuit because they back in the day
The
could-
lawsuit?
Well, it was like a groundbreaking lawsuit where you had to be a certain size to
yeah.
be
Yeah.
a
They would
flight
like
attendant.
weigh their flight
Yeah.
And
attendants.
so
Oh,
there's
really?
a massive like class action lawsuit against one of the major
Dang.
airlines. And,
American?
They gave her job back
Probably.
because she got
Alaska.
pregnant.
Spirit.
And back then, if you got pregnant, you were immediately fired.
Yeah.
And so she got fired. She didn't care. She was like, whatever. You know.
I got pregnant.
And then, but when that lawsuit came through, they offered her a job back.
Wow.
Wow.
And she's
Did you
like,
say
"No,
no?
I'm good."
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That crazy? You couldn't be like a certain size. You just couldn't be.
Hey, should have thought twice before you got pregnant. I mean,
Hey man, that's on
tell you
you.
Stop.
what, change
That's
your
on
life
you.
right there.
Please stop.
Well,
That's so crazy. And that probably wasn't even that long ago. When was that? Like the 60s?
Yeah, something like
Back
that.
when flight attendants were
That was crazy. How my
skinny. I don't know.
that's how my
Ryan,
that's
no.
literally how my grandparents met.
Whatever.
Because she was a flight attendant.
Really?
Aw.
Yeah,
Wow.
she was.
Your grandpa was a
Oh,
airplane?
Pilot.
My grandpa was in Chicago, grew up in Chicago,
Uh-huh.
and was in the Marines, and happened to be back at his church for the first time in like 10 weeks. She happened to be like based, like she flew into Chicago, and she called her church back home and asked for a church that was the same
A rec.
denomination in the area. And they told her to go to this church.
Oh my
And they happened
gosh.
to like meet at that church that morning.
cute.
That's
Dude.
beautiful.
That's like a movie waiting to happen.
Nuts.
It's called Fly Me to Church.
5 minute church.
Anything
That's what it
goes.
is. Anything goes.
Oh, wait,
Fly me
sorry.
on your
Well-
fingers.
Wait, what's that? What's that plane movie?
Hey,
We're not-
Or-
Airplane?
Hey guys,
No, musical?
Kara's transitioning.
I'm trying to.
It's an entirely different kind of flying
No,
altogether.
no, the musical. Sorry, wait. We
gotta
can't
be
move on.
close.
Come
What is
from
that?
away?
Catch me if you can.
Catch Me If You Can. Thank
Oh.
you. Period.
Go ahead, Kara.
I was gonna say someone has birthday coming up.
Oh.
Jan is a birthday.
Jan's birthday coming up.
Wait.
La da da. Da da da.
Wait, I don't know how to play Happy Birthday.
Ryan went to music
There you
school. Didn't learn Happy Birthday.
Well, by
Came
the time
home.
this episode comes out,
It's beautiful.
you'll already be 25.
How do you feel, 25?
25. It's a weird age. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem any different than anything else, but
It's an odd number, which I like.
It's not like a big number. in my
25 is a
opinion.
big number.
I guess it's like,
That's a
Halfway through
quarter
your
of your
20s. It's
a
potential
quarter.
life if you live to 100.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel good. It's birthdays are always kind of weird. I mean, you know, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever like not like being the center of attention?
Yeah.
Like I love going to birthday parties. I literally hate going to mine. Like something about everyone like the
Paying
pressure being like
attention.
you're the guy. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
It's just weird.
Hate it. Hate it.
But I'm excited to turn 25. I mean, it's going to be a fun one, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like this birthday.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things are happening this year, which is fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting married.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
be
why I
married
like
on my
25.
25th birthday. you
Isn't
know.
that crazy? Like, did you ever think you'd be getting married at 25?
No.
I feel like that's
you
kind
ever
of like
think you'd
the
get
ideal
married?
age.
For a long time, no, I didn't think I'd get married.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I went through stages. Like when I started lip sync, I know this sounds melodramatic.
No, go ahead.
This sounds really dramatic.
You're like,
here
this
for
is
it.
my life now.
No, when I
I just
started-
won't get married. I'll just do lip sync forever.
No,
That's such a John move.
when I started lip sync, birthdays became like more fun, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it was like this big
yeah.
thing, and it was fully shifting the attention off of me.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
You had 20 lousy
That's,
birthdays.
I just want to say that is a brilliant coping mechanism.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Create
Pretty incredible, huh?
Well,
experiences.
Dan, Laura, sorry. You tried your best. But
You lost one.
20
That's
crappy
incredible.
birthdays. That's
No.
What a
I had
mastermind
great- I had
move.
great birthdays growing up. I
I'm
had
going to create
insane birthdays.
an entire production company so that people won't look
so
at
I
me
can
on my birthday.
divert. It's called Albright Entertainment.
That
No,
is
it was-
insane.
I mean, part of it, right? It made birthdays easier for me.
I love
because,
that.
You know, it was. When I'm making it sound dramatic than it is. It's not that I hate birthdays, but you
But
know
I know
what
what you mean. Yeah.
Like the anxiety of like everyone's looking at me, and
Yep.
it was like everyone had. It didn't take it away because we still end up doing family
Yeah.
a family birthday
Yeah.
for me. So
Totally.
like I still have that experience, but lip sync was just part of that made it more fun.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I'm
That's
so
awesome.
excited for lip sync this year.
Yeah, this
I'm
year it's a little
so
later.
Excited.
Yeah, you're gonna win, right?
I'm going to win.
I want you
start
to
working.
know.
Coming up so fast.
I want you to know, shaving your beard or hair would seal the win for you.
Every inch of hair on my body will be gone.
Your eyebrows. If only you're
Every-
getting freaking married,
I know.
man. What the
I know.
heck?
I
next
wanted him
year,
to shave his head.
Next year, I'll have no.
That's what I meant. I said beard, and then
Beard,
I was
but
like,
that's kind of funny.
I
I mean, if you shaved your eyebrows off or something, that'd be crazy.
Next year, I'll have no like
nothing holding you back.
obligations.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
if you happen to not win, which would be weird, this
Not
year,
just like going out in public and like I work at a church and no, just like
Nah.
it's fine. Just
Yeah, that'd be
completely
cool.
naked.
I'm kind of curious what.
25. What
Think
what
about
was your
that.
experience? 25. It was only a month ago, right? 2 months ago.
Yeah,
What
it was
that
nice.
like?
I like 25.
Yeah,
It's a good number.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the first birthday that I felt a little uneasy about. 23.
Yeah.
21 was
Oh,
like fun.
yes.
22 was like we're still living. You know?
I had a Taylor Swift song for 22.
Oh,
23 was
23 was like
Yeah, same. Same
know.
with 24 for me. 24, I was like,
I don't even remember 24. I know I'm living 24 until Thursday, but
Right.
like 24 was such. I think it's probably because of the pandemic.
COVID. Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
But
it was a
everyone had a COVID
total
birthday.
mulligan
Throwaway
year.
year.
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. Now you're 25. How do you feel?
I feel great, man. I feel like here's what I will say. I feel like at this point in my life, I'm doing more things that I love than I
Yeah.
ever have. Like all the stuff that I'm doing, including this show and all the production stuff and like having you guys as like close friends now, I would say I would feel like I'm living my best self. right
Yeah.
now.
yeah.
And I know you're always you're like evolving. You're always going to be your best self or
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't know. I think some years are kind of throwaway years, like 24. And this year I'm like, hey, I feel like I am living really what I wanted for probably 5 or 6 years. I love what I'm doing now.
So good.
That's great, man. That's really good to hear.
Wow.
Maybe that
That's
sounds
encouraging.
desperate. I don't know. But
Yeah. Well, when I turn 25, this year sucks. So, but everything around me, yeah. It's the worst.
September
Whatever.
7th.
Oh.
16th. 16th.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Yeah. The 14th, we're gonna go see Switchfoot though. So,
Is that when they come in town?
yeah.
You checked? Oh my gosh.
I got you tickets.
Yep.
No, you didn't.
Happy birthday, John.
Thank you, Ryan. That's so
You're
sweet.
welcome.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I had to play
Thank-
stupid when you brought it up. I was like, "Well, when is that?"
Oh, what?
Oh my gosh. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, I got you, man. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy
it.
Wow.
birthday.
That's incredible.
September 14th, we're gonna go see him. And Need to Breathe is like the headliner, but
Whoa. I like Need to Breathe.
yeah, they got good music too.
Thanks,
But,
buddy.
of course.
That's such a surprise.
Yeah.
I'm so used to surprising you on this show. What the
Well,
heck, man?
Happy birthday! I didn't wrap it, but
Thank you. No, that's really cool.
He
Thank
could
you.
be lying right now.
He's like,
True.
we might
how
be
much
going to.
Yeah, he's like, hopefully we'll be
I'm
going
gonna
to see
see.
Switchfoot.
I'm gonna see how much the tickets are.
pending.
I want to buy you tickets for Switchfoot.
But here's the thing.
I was thinking about there they are.
Oh,
Wow.
Hey.
wow. That's so exciting.
And with that, it's time for.
Wow.
John react.
This episode went by so
Oh,
fast.
yeah, it did.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did you not feel that way?
It did.
I didn't
I
feel
was
like
doing
that.
this like weird like true crimes like
For a lot
For
of
a
it.
good amount of time, actually. Yeah.
Sorry, I know my storytelling's really long. I apologize.
No, I was just like making it better
Yeah, you were. You really were making it better.
because like the story wasn't good, but like
yeah, the story was terrible, but
okay, let's react.
The Pet Collective. Let's see. Oh my gosh.
Big boy.
Oh Lord, he coming.
Let me guess. This is Florida.
Yeah, definitely.
That thing's
Wow.
huge. You know those crocodile or alligators are really fast, actually.
Oh
I
god.
heard
This
they
guy
can
is
run up to
really
like 25
slow.
miles per hour.
Tell me he just starts sprinting.
Oh,
He's like, I'm just here for a little bit.
Bro.
of
Ew,
sunbathing
ew, he's
moment.
like
He's kind of
stretching.
cute though.
I had a super weird moment when I
Terrifying.
watched this where I was like, those animals exist on the earth that I'm living in.
That's
like,
a dinosaur.
dinosaurs.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, those
That's
are
literally
here.
a dinosaur.
I
You
have
know what
that
I
all the
mean?
time.
Except they're not here.
Oh.
Low battery.
You know?
We're at
Oh,
2%
jeez.
battery.
Let's speed this
fun
up.
to be said.
Let's wrap up the episode.
Nice.
I have to trim the volume.
This is nice.
This one decided to stay.
Oh god, there's gonna be harmony. I can already feel
For a
it.
song to play and hum away. Hummingbirds sing their song without any worries of wrong. So what if we sing along and hum the way? Sing your song, 'cause you'll be home like hummingbirds hum, so you should hum along.
Wow.
That's nice.
Wow,
that
that's
beautiful?
Why did that remind me of God's Belt?
I could fully see
I
that.
felt that.
Because it's the two guys.
Yeah.
But how can we sing?
How can we sing? This one's topical for last week.
Oh jeez.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Good morning, Usnavi.
What a good movie.
Oh, such a good movie.
So good.
Well, that's it.
To
That's all we got this week.
To everyone who watches, what is the thing you say? To all the people who watch What the Podcast. Thank you. What do you say?
Form your own opinions.
Form your own opinions. No. No.
Bring it back for John's birthday.
No.
You don't like my saying, huh?
I think isn't that from Ellen?
It's definitely
Let's
not.
be nice
It's-
to
I
everyone.
like Form Your Own Opinions. I'm fully in on that.
Okay.
I don't know. Form your own opinions. We'll see you next week on What the Podcast.